Why can a single hill, barely a square kilometer in size, hold the world in suspense? To understand this, we must look to Jerusalem, to the heart of a conflict as old as the stones of its walls. In our last two parts, we shed light on the political history of this struggle, from the partition of Palestine to the present day. We have seen how neighbors became enemies, and how a city became the symbol of an unresolved question. Today, we go deeper. We go to the core of the matter, to a sacred hill that some call the Temple Mount and others call Haram al-Sharif. One place, two names, and a history full of prophets, wars, and unwavering faith. For Jews around the world, there is no holier place. Here, their tradition teaches, God gathered the dust from which he formed Adam. Here, Abraham intended to sacrifice his son Isaac. And it was right here that King Solomon, nearly 3,000 years ago, built the first temple, the center of the Jewish faith, the house of God on earth. After its destruction by the Babylonians, the second temple was built on the very same spot, even more magnificent than the first. For centuries, it was the focal point of Jewish life, until the Romans tore it down in the year 70 AD. All that remained was a part of the western retaining wall of the plateau, the Western Wall. Today, it is the closest point to the Holy of Holies, a place of prayer, mourning, and infinite longing for what was lost. For Muslims, this same hill is the third holiest site in Islam, after Mecca and Medina. They call it al-Haram al-Sharif, the noble sanctuary. Their faith connects this place with one of the most miraculous nights in the life of the Prophet Muhammad. From here, from a rock that can be marveled at today inside the golden dome of the rock, he is said to have begun his heavenly journey, a journey through the seven heavens all the way to God. Next to the dome of the rock stands the Al-Aqsa Mosque, the farthest mosque, which is mentioned in the Quran and was the destination of Muhammad's night journey from Mecca. For 1.8 billion Muslims, this site is an inviolable symbol of their faith, a testament to the universal message of Islam, Iba. The history of this hill is a succession of power, destruction, and new beginnings. After the Romans destroyed the Jewish temple, the area lay fallow for nearly 600 years, a landscape of ruins. Everything changed when the Islamic caliphs conquered Jerusalem in the 7th century. They saw in this place not only its Jewish past, but also recognized its significance through the story of their own prophet. They honored the site by cleansing it and erecting two of the most impressive structures in the Islamic world, the Dome of the Rock and the Al-Aqsa Mosque. They did not build on the ruins of the temple. Instead, they created something new that defined the site for a new world religion. What is fascinating and at the same time tragic about this conflict is that both sides refer to a partially shared history. Jews, Christians, and Muslims are often referred to as the peoples of the book. They all revere Abraham as a patriarch. They all know the stories of prophets like Moses, David, or Solomon. In Islam, the prophets of the Jewish Torah and the Christian Gospel are considered messengers of God. The Quran is seen by Muslims as the final and definitive revelation, which confirms but also corrects the earlier scriptures. Thus, it is not a struggle between completely foreign worlds, but a bitter dispute within a family of religions that stem from the same root. These millennia-old religious claims are today inextricably interwoven with modern politics. Since the founding of Israel in 1948, and especially since the capture of East Jerusalem in the Six-Day War of 1967, this site has become the focal point of the national conflict. For many Israelis, control over the Temple Mount is the fulfillment of a 2,000-year-old prophecy, the return to Zion. For the Palestinians, the Al-Aqsa Mosque is a symbol of their national resistance and their claim to a state of their own with East Jerusalem as its capital. Every archaeological excavation, every political speech, every demonstration here becomes a crucial test because religion and national identity have merged into a highly explosive mixture, ourselves. And that is precisely why this conflict is so incredibly difficult to resolve. It is not just about land or borders. It is about divine promises and historical wounds. It is about the feeling that one's own existence is threatened if the other side gains control over the holiest of sites. The so-called status quo, a fragile arrangement from the Ottoman era, governs access today. Muslims are allowed to pray on the plateau, while non-Muslims are allowed to visit, but not to pray there. But this agreement is constantly being challenged and is perceived as unjust by both sides. Jerusalem remains a powder keg, because here, every stone not only has a story, but represents a sacred truth for millions of people. This was our journey into the heart of Jerusalem, to the struggle of the prophets. We have uncovered the political and historical layers and have now arrived at the deepest roots, the religious ones. What do you think? Can there ever be a peace made by humans in a place that is so sacred? Write us your thoughts and perspectives in the comments. If this series has made you think, then give us a like, subscribe to our channel for more in-depth analyses, and share this video. Stay curious.